Now, let me welcome you to a very special episode of the Field of 68. I'd like to welcome on Yaxel Lendeborg from Michigan, who a South Jersey kid, man. You're from Pensacola, and I'm living down here in Mount Laurel now. So we wanted to get you on because you're a preseason All-American. You're one of the best players in college basketball this year. You got a great story, but I wanted to get you on because I got to talk to a South Jersey kid about what it's like to be able to make it out of South Jersey, man. How you doing? It's good to see you.
Hey, I'm doing great, man. It's a blessing and an honor to be on here. Super excited.
Well, listen, we were down there talking to your former coach at UAB, Andy Kennedy, recently, and he raves about you and your story. You know, kind of where you came from. I don't think a lot of people know your story, Axel, and you know, maybe even dating back to your early high school days. You weren't eligible, but let's go back to kind of even your upbringing, right? Born in Puerto Rico, born in Puerto Rico, um, moved to, I think, Ohio when you were young, and then ended up moving to Jersey. Take us back a little bit if you can.
Yeah, my mom had me in college at the time. She went to the American University in Puerto Rico. She finished out school, got her master's degree, and then we moved over to Dominican Republic for a year or two. Then went to Ohio. When I got to Ohio, I picked up baseball, tried basketball, football, soccer. All the sports my mom put me in. Honestly, some time goes on, I started taking baseball a lot more serious because my grandfather. Um, then sadly, he passed away a little later on. Kind of took me away from the scene of sports for a little while. Then right before I turned 9, we moved over to New Jersey. I go stay with my cousin. Dave Wilkie actually plays at Loyola Chicago right now. But yeah, so I get there. He's a big basketball guy. We're a big basketball family. So now it's like coming along a little bit more. I'm playing in the backyard with him, having fun. But it's never nothing too serious. But then we get to New Jersey. I'm playing basketball a lot. Get to school, don't really play school basketball, school baseball, anything. I'm just, student. You just going day by day. Um, the senior year of high school comes along. I play half of the season because of I guess we tried to get a waiver. It didn't work. Um, I was doing really bad in school as well, so I couldn't really play even if I wanted to. But I finally was able to get eligible second half of the season and got to play those 11 games. It was a good experience. It was fun, but it wasn't really nothing that would be detrimental to my life. It was just play with my friends because we can for the last year, and that was it.
So you went to Camden County Community College, right? While you were a student at Pensacola to be able to get what you needed to get done to be able to get eligible to play, which is like I can't imagine going to school two different times to be able to get yourself eligible to play for all of 11 games. That's the wild part to me about it, is you be able to make it and catch the eye of a junior college all the way out in Arizona in 11 games.
Yeah, it was an interesting situation. I had to take the transit bus because my mom had work, so she couldn't take me over there. So it was humbling. It was a very nice, weird, nice situation, I guess you can say. But after those 11 games, I didn't really have any attention from anybody. It wasn't until my mom forced me to go to like a Dominican camp near New York. And I didn't want to go, obviously, but my cousin was going, so it was like I'll go because he's there. So we get there, we're just playing against each other, talking smack. And at the end of like that day, there was a coach that was talking to my mom supposedly, and I didn't know anything about it. Apparently, my mom was in contact with the coach for like a month, and then with like 2 weeks remaining, my mom just says like, "You're going to Arizona," and it's like, what are you talking about? I'm not going nowhere. And there I was 2 weeks later on a plane to Arizona.
So let me go back a little bit if you don't mind. When you're in high school, you had some, I don't know if it was family issues or whatever it was that made it difficult for you to go to school, correct? Like, talk a little bit about that situation. And obviously, you're a really smart kid. I mean, we know that. All your former coaches said that, but you had some circumstances that made it more difficult for you to be able to go to school, correct?
Yeah, my mom obviously she did the best that she could, trying to raise me and stuff. She has to raise four other kids, well, four in total, and I just wasn't really applying myself, I guess you can say. I was always just acting like my life was already over, I guess you can say, feel like there's really nothing for me to do. I'm just going here because my mom wants me to come. But it wasn't really like my situation at home wasn't really as bad as it may have seemed the way I was acting. But my senior year, my mom sat me down and had like a really brutal but like honest conversation with me, and it flipped a switch in my head. I guess you could say it just being better for her because of how it's making her feel like all she wanted me to do was graduate high school, and I wasn't even on pace to do that. So
You weren't going. I mean, you weren't going most days to high
yeah,
school.
I would miss, and if I do go there, I'm going to sleep in class. I'm playing games with my friends and stuff. Like it was just, it was awful. It
Just
was,
not motivated at all
yeah.
because you didn't feel like there was any hope.
Yeah, there was nothing for me to do. I didn't really have any passion in life. Like all I did was play video games all day. If I was gonna do anything, it would be a streamer or something. But my mom really turned it all around for me.
So that talk, Yaxel, that talk. If you think about it, and that conversation between your mom where she said, "Hey, like we're gonna figure this thing out." If that doesn't happen, what do you think you're doing today?
Probably working in the same place as her. Once I graduated high school, I still went and worked at this warehouse job that she's working in. It's called VoiceCom. It was pretty much from like 5 to like 3 or 7 to 5, whatever the 2 days. And it's just stocking boxes pretty much. That would have been my life, honestly.
Wow.
When when you had that conversation with her about going to Arizona, what did you know about Arizona Western? What did you know about where you were going to be going to college? What did you know about where you were going to start this journey that has eventually led you to the University of Michigan and on the brink of playing in the NBA?
I didn't know anything. All I knew was I was going to be away from my mom. And that alone was enough to make me cry. So I didn't want to go at all. I begged and pleaded with her to not let me go. And it was like, you're going whether you like it or not. I really pretty much got forced to go, and I can't complain about it anymore. She always like brags about it. I told you so, this and that. And it's like, I'm still not going to give her credit for it. I try to, but yeah, so she she pretty much made me get on that plane, made me do some research, even though I didn't do it anyway. It was just, yeah, it was all interesting.
So
So
what AK told us about Arizona Western, the town that you were in, was
Yuma.
yeah, in Yuma, which is if anyone's ever seen the Western 310 to Yuma, like that's kind of what it was, right? Like you're waking up and you're pulling scorpions out of your shoes and like dust bowls everywhere. Like just talk to me a little bit about what it was like going to college in Yuma, Arizona.
Okay, well, you land in Arizona. This is my first time, literally by myself on a plane. So I land in Arizona. It's like 170 degrees outside. Um, it's like dry heat too, so you're not even sweating, you're just burning. I look outside and it's literally just like brown everywhere. And I'm so used to green and a lot of buildings and stuff, and all I see is brown. So I'm already like, it's a culture shock. Then Coach Rowe, he comes and gets me in a van and takes me towards campus. Now the ride past the nearest gas station was a good like 5 to 8 minutes, and it's just straight like crop field with no crops. So I'm just looking like, where am I going? What is going on? Go up a hill, see the little campus that they have going on. Man, it was ridiculous. As soon as I got into the room, I cried, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. It was brutal. But once we get out to the court, I meet a couple of the teammates, and one guy specifically kind of like took me in under his wing and like pretty much helped me grow out of my shell at the time. So I'm really grateful for that guy, and it was just it was history from there.
Who was it?
His name is Marquise Hargrove. He actually went to UAB with me too, so it was cool.
So that was right. That's who AK said. Like they took you after a couple of years at Arizona Western, which is known, by the way, as a baseball school, not
Yeah.
a basketball school. I've been to Yuma. I've been to Yuma, Arizona. And yeah, there's not a whole lot there. Um, you have a steady rise at Arizona Western. Did it surprise you how good you were? Because you hadn't played a lot of organized basketball. You played, 10, 11 games of high school basketball, and that was it.
Yeah, my first year, like that COVID year, I sucked, honestly. I think I averaged like 4 points and 2 rebounds, maybe. I was getting killed in practice, killed in the games. I remember my first dunk, I traveled, I was just so excited to try to dunk the ball. But that second year, like the first summer where I try to, actually like work on the craft a little bit, like it wasn't nothing like I'm going in there every day. I'm just whenever they tell me to go, I'll go. And eventually, Coach Rowe, again, he wanted me to dribble the ball a little bit more, because he saw in practice I would, have some type of handle. Um, from that day on, I kind of became like a point forward, I guess you could say. And that role kind of developed and developed. Now I'm coming off of ball screens, I'm shooting some type of mid-range pull-ups that the coach didn't like, but it went in sometimes. And then after that, like first official season, I get invited to a J48 camp. It's like a JUCO top All American camp.
Yep.
That was pretty much a blessing for me. That was put me under the spotlight, with Division 1 coach, Division 2 coaches. Um, I think I had like 2 games where I had 20 and 20, and the first day of the camp, and it was just from then on, my phone started blowing up with Division 1 coaches. I'm in the car ride with some other players, and I'm getting calls from like Houston, New Mexico, Xavier. It was crazy, man. But that's where it all started.
So why UAB? I mean, you just mentioned some like really big power. Like Houston was
It
just in
was
the
St.
Final
John's
Four, right?
before, right,
Yeah.
Yaxel? It was St. John's.
Yeah, and actually before that, it was like I had a verbal commit to Houston as well. But then I had to decommit due to my family not wanting me to go there.
Yeah.
So I decommitted like the day after. Then they didn't want me anymore. Now it's like I'm so stressed out. I don't know what to do with this whole process. So I just St. John's next offer seems like they want me so much. Go there, boom. Coach gets fired. I don't hear from Patino at all. Now it's like, okay, I don't think he wants me to be here. I'm gonna just, you know, get out of here. Then Coach Coach Cross, he started talking to me and was pretty much telling me that he sees me as an NBA player and he envisions me to be one of the better players that UAB ever had. And that's not something I heard from any other coach. So it was like it put them aside right away. And then once they said that, Marquise can also come along with me, it was like a no-brainer, like why wouldn't I want to bring my best friend. So
What did you think when you heard NBA from anybody? Are you almost like, are you crazy? Like from where you had come from?
yeah, it was like I guess you could say like a big dream that wasn't really in arm's reach, I guess you could say. I had no aspirations to go into the NBA. And it was just like, you're telling me to go there. I mean, I understand that's what you recruiters do now, but at that point, it was just funny. My friend was listening to it. We were on the calls like literally right next to each other. I'm like, did you hear that? Like, we were laughing, like, what does he talk about NBA? But I mean, it might be true. We'll see.
I mean, I think it's going to be, man. Like I think you probably would have been in the NBA right now if you decided to lead your name in the draft. So let's talk a little bit about that, right? Let's talk through that process because there were a lot of people that were surprised when you said, you know what, I want to come back to school, I want to go to Michigan, I want to play in the Big Ten. Why was Michigan the spot, and why was coming back to school the decision that you made?
Michigan for me was a spot because the way they play, I feel like it suits my play style.
Mhm.
That 4 or 5 ball screen thing that they have going on last year was amazing. Especially the way Danny Wolf did it. I felt like I envisioned myself in that role, playing it perfectly. My trainer, Aaron Johnson, he had connections with Dusty May as well. So it was like he trusted him and I trusted AJ. So it was like, why wouldn't I come here? And then when I finally got to talk to Coach May, it was just like all respect. It was all our team was gonna be good, but with you it'll be great. And no other team was saying that. They were all just like, this will be a good idea for you. The NBA can wait, and NBA is next year, this and that. And Coach Mason like was pretty much with me on whatever decision I made. He was actually there at the combine as well. He was obviously supporting Vlad and them, but he still took some time to communicate with me and make sure that he knew I was there for him, that he was there for me too. So it was I feel like that was a no-brainer decision, and it's Michigan, I guess you can say. So
Well, it's crazy. I mean, you've gone from a kid that didn't go to school in high school to a kid now who's going to get, a degree from one of the best academic institutions in the world, Michigan. Isn't like, has that hit you?
yeah, I have moments where I shed a couple of tears and stuff. Yeah.
One of the things that I heard, and it's not just AK that says things like this, but a lot of coaches appreciate in this day and age coaching guys that have been through the JUCO ranks, because they don't come like with the fed by the silver spoon, right? Like you've been through the grind, man. You've been through some real life experiences beyond just being a basketball player, and I think that there's a level of I don't know if humility is the right word there, but you're not a guy that has everything where you expect it to be given to you.
Yeah, I understand that. I feel like me personally is I feel like I'm never better than anybody else, no matter what type of accolades I get or whatever honors I get, anything. It's just like I'm still that kid from JUCO, regardless of where I am or what I've done. So I feel like going to JUCO was perfect for me, especially just because of the way I was raised as well. My mom always told me to be nice to everybody, put them first and then yourself second. So I feel like it worked out.
So when you do make the decision to go to Michigan, like Rob said, a lot of us were scratching our heads like, okay, he's got a guaranteed, if he goes 30th in the draft, that's a guaranteed $2.3 million. But after talking to Andy Kennedy, it made sense because after your first year at UAB, you could have went in the portal and made a lot of money. And he said, you never even considered it. Never talked about it, never thought about it for a minute. Like how are both of these decisions that easy for a guy that again didn't grow up with a ton?
I mean, for me, money has never been something that has moved me, I guess you can say. I grew up without it a long time. My mom, she taught me how to be happy without it. So, and being with AK UAB, it was like, this is home for me. So why would I want to break up a home for some temporary happiness? And the only reason I entered the transfer portal that last year is because pretty much coach told me to. He said, like, it'll be a better decision for you to leave. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll take it.
Hey, there's a little more of this at Michigan than there is at UAB, right?
Yeah, that's what he said as well. It's like,
Is it crazy now, Yaxel, in terms of how your life has changed already financially? I'm not going to say the number, but you've heard the number. You've heard people speculate on the number you're getting this year. It's a lot of money, more money than you probably thought you'd ever see, maybe in your lifetime. I don't know, but is it crazy when these paychecks come in and you see how much money you're making this year compared to, what you thought you might be doing years ago?
yeah, it's ridiculous actually. But it's been great, just being able to help my mom with whatever I can, try to pay the rent bill for her, try to take any type of worries off her hands. It's been amazing. I haven't really been able to splurge as much because my mom's really just been heaping on me to save, save, save.
Good.
Yes,
So,
good. Yaxel, you got a smart mom, man. Yeah,
That's
she
right.
knows.
We
She
gotta
knows what
meet your
she's talking
mom
about.
on here. We
Yes,
gotta get
you
her
got
on
a
the
smart
next.
mom.
we can't give her too much credit.
No, you can't. We're going to. Okay, we're going to.
I'm gonna keep
What
angling
else?
on that.
What else have you done? I know you said you have siblings too that you helped take care of years ago. Where are they now, and have you been able to help them as well?
Yeah, they're all in New Jersey right now. They actually just started playing sports. Middle child's playing lacrosse, oldest volleyball, and the youngest basketball. So it's I guess we're gonna have an athletic family after all. But yeah, I've been able to help them out. Just if it's like food or some type of gifts. I feel like they're trying to take it out of hand and ask me for money every day now. So I gotta try to build their character like mine was built, so I'm not giving them any handouts. But
You're gonna tell them to go JUCO? You're gonna have them go to Arizona Western and toughen
if they
up?
have to, yes.
Well, I'll tell you this, Yaxel. I'm coaching a 10U basketball team. Actually, we have our first practice tonight. So if the youngest one, if is it a boy? Is it a brother? The youngest
It's a
one?
girl. We got 3 girls.
Ah,
You got
not
three
too bad.
girls,
Too
three
bad.
sisters.
I was trying to recruit, man. I was trying to recruit.
Hey,
I need a big guy.
all I'll say is it's got to be hard to say no to three younger sisters when they ask for money or anything.
Yeah, I'll just try to. Sometimes if I can't say no, I'll probably switch the topic and tell them to put my mom back on the phone. So it's
All right, this is the last one I got for you, Yaxel. Is if I would have told you when you were starting your senior year in high school that this is where you would be sitting right now. We would be talking about the money that you're making, the degree that you're about to get from Michigan, the fact that you're on the verge of playing in the NBA, playing in the NBA. Would you believe me?
never in a million years. I would have thought you were crazy.
So what do you have to do this year to make sure that that dream becomes reality?
Well, I have some goals set out. Me and Coach Boyan, we have like aspirations to try to be one of the best defenders in the country. Just being able to show scouts that I can guard 1 through 5, and
Mhm.
also just improving my ability to play through contact. I've heard that some scouts thought that I was a little bit weaker, when I played through contact where I stopped. So I'm just gonna try to be as aggressive as I can on both sides of the floor and obviously improve the 3 ball as well, just the volume.
Goodman, that's why he showed up without sleeves. Somebody said that he was weak, so he's like, "Look at this
Yeah.
now."
I, I've been
Hey,
gaming.
I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna say this. Like, not only is it one hell of a story, but you are refreshing. Like, I'm glad we did this because I think college basketball gets a bad rap these days, and you guys get a
Mhm.
bad rap because again, people hear how much money you're making, and what do they say, right? Like you hear it, like,
Yeah.
well, man, they ain't worth 2, 3, 4 million, whatever it is. Man, you're grateful, you're appreciative, you can tell, you're smart. You had a road that was different than basically anybody else that I've ever talked to, and that road is taking you to a place that, again, you never thought you'd get to. So keep doing what you're doing, man. Stay humble. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I can't wait to see you in person, and keep working, man. Keep working.
Thank you. I appreciate it.